Prepare to join this filthy orb in oblivion!
Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Chalktopus, and today I want to talk to you about why Krillin is actually awesome. Why Krillin is actually looked down upon despite being one of the best fighters, if not the best fighter, in the entire Dragon Ball universe. And I'm going to explain why before you hit that dislike button. Hear me out. So let's go all the way back to Dragon Ball when we first meet Krillin as a kid, a little bald-headed kid. And he buys his way into Master Roshi's school with porn. First of all, that's awesome, and that was the first moment that I realized Krillin was so cool, because he's smart. He knew what Roshi was looking for, and he managed to get his way into the school despite Roshi only saying that he was taking on one pupil. Now, if you look at a majority of the Dragon Ball series, Krillin's able to keep up with Goku. I mean, Goku, yes, is still stronger than him, but as far as fighting goes, Goku's not as OP as he becomes, later in Z, or even the end of Dragon Ball. But for a while, Krillin is actually one of the strongest people on Earth. Things don't really start looking bad for Krillin as a fighter until people like Piccolo start showing up in Dragon Ball, or fast forward to Z when Raditz finally comes and Krillin realizes that there's a whole race worlds stronger than him that were just born that way. Keep in mind that Krillin is a human, and if you think about it, all those other Z fighters kind of become useless as the series goes on, but Krillin is the only exception. You don't really see much from Tien or Yamcha or Chaozu after Chaozu just blows up, in the Saiyan saga, but Krillin always appears and he's always fighting side by side with Goku or Vegeta, and he's always out there. He's putting himself out there despite being the weakest character. Now, it's not his fault that he's the weakest. He's human. Let's go back to the Saiyan saga where Yamcha gets destroyed by one Cyberman, but Krillin is actually badass enough to hold off against 3 and defeat 3 of them, something that no one else was able to do. When the Z fighters were up against Nappa and Nappa was plowing through all of them, Krillin was the only one who was able to draw blood, because his Destructo Disc that he threw at Nappa actually could have killed him if he didn't dodge it. But, Vegeta at the last second told him to watch out for it, but Nappa was pretty stupid and he would have taken it head on, and it would have clearly killed him. And I don't think any of the other Z fighters had an attack anywhere near capable enough to do that. Now, you kind of see where I'm going with this, but let's look at some more examples, like when they're all on Namek, and Krillin, besides Bulma, is the only human on Namek, so he's up against, alien races and Saiyans. There's a ton of people there that could easily kill Krillin, but he doesn't die until Frieza kills him, and Frieza is the strongest person on that planet, if not the universe at the time. Then comes the Android saga, where, Krillin is fighting against Android 17 and 18, who were worlds stronger than Frieza was, but he's there, he's fighting, and not to mention, he bags one of them. That's right, Krillin bangs Android 18. So the dude's got game too. He's not just a great fighter, he has game. Krillin even attacks Majin Buu, who, again, another creature or alien that is stronger than him. He throws a Destructo Disc at him, fucking cuts him up. Had it not been for Buu's ability to regenerate. What's with all these villains being able to regenerate? And Krillin is just a poor human who, he's flesh and blood and bone, and he dies. But he went up against Majin Buu, and he would have taken him out. To really put a bow on this, the reason why Krillin's awesome and probably one of my favorite characters, not to mention Sonny Strait is an amazing voice actor, and that's probably one of the selling points for me. Krillin is always fighting leagues above him, and he's always surviving. He might not be winning all the fights, but he's surviving, and He's always getting stronger, and he holds his own, and there's some pretty badass moments that Krillin has, and I just named a bunch of them. Not to mention, Krillin has probably one of the best movesets in the Dragon Ball universe. He has Destructo Disc, which can basically cut anything in half, or most things in half, as we've seen, kill most enemies. Solar Flare, which we see some other people use, but Krillin uses it the most, and Solar Flare is also OP in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Krillin's capable of using the Kamehameha. It might not be as efficient as when Goku uses it, but he could do it. And some of you may argue that Oob is the strongest human fighter in the Dragon Ball Z series, but just remember that he was a reincarnation of Majin Buu, and he was wished to be that way. He's basically the living, breathing form, human form of steroids, while our boy Krillin here is au natural. So before you give Krillin a bad rap next time, just remember that he is the most talented, in my opinion, human fighter in the Dragon Ball Z universe. He's a great martial artist. He has a great skill set. He's just unfortunately outmatched by aliens that were just born stronger than him, and it's not his fault. So if you're a Krillin lover, let me know in the comments below what was your favorite Krillin moment throughout all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, whatever. If you like my video, be sure to leave a like and hit that sub button and subscribe to my channel for more Dragon Ball Z goodness. And we'll see you in the next video.